Good day everyone. Today, I'll be discussing one of the most important steps in conducting research, the formulation of a research problem. Whether you're doing a thesis, a project, or a paper, this step lays the foundation for everything that follows. What is a research problem? A research problem is basically the issue or concern that we want to investigate. It could be a gap in existing knowledge, a real-world challenge, or something that needs improvement. This is what our whole research will try to solve or understand better. Importance of formulating a research problem. Why is it so important to define a research problem clearly? Because it gives direction. Without it, we might gather unnecessary data or end up answering a question that doesn't matter. A clear research problem helps us stay focused and efficient. Characteristics of a good research problem. Not all problems make good research topics. A good research problem should be clear, specific, and researchable. It should be possible to investigate using data and methods, and it should be significant, meaning, it matters to a certain field or community. Steps in formulating a research problem. Here are the steps we usually follow. First, we start with a general topic. Next, we review literature to understand what has already been studied. Then, we narrow down our focus and identify gaps. These are areas that haven't been explored. From there, we formulate a clear problem statement. Let's look at an example. We start with a broad topic like climate change. Then we narrow it down to agriculture in Southeast Asia. From there, we define a more specific problem like, how do changing rainfall patterns affect rice production in the Philippines? See how it becomes clearer and more focused. Some helpful tips. Ask questions that require deep thinking and analysis, not just yes or no answers. Avoid vague or overly ambitious topics. Make sure your problem is relevant to your field and can be researched with the tools and time you have. It's also helpful to know what to avoid. Common mistakes include picking a problem that's too broad or too narrow, choosing something irrelevant, or not being specific enough. Also, some students skip background research, which makes it harder to define a clear problem. Once you've identified the problem, you can convert it into a research question. For example, if the problem is low mental health awareness among teens, your question could be, what is the level of mental health awareness among high school students in urban areas? This makes it easier to investigate. To wrap up, a well-formulated research problem helps us stay on track, saves time, and leads to more useful results. It's the first step toward doing impactful and organized research. Spend time crafting your research problem, it's worth it. That ends my presentation. Thank you for listening. Do you have any questions or clarifications? I'd be happy to explain further.